turns into a mess. It's never that pure ideology that they thought it's going to turn out to be. So now what we have are people who are upset because the land use planners are saying, they say what they want to do is build more high density, build more mass transit, do all these things that reverses the very reason why zoning was initiated in the first place. It was to separate uses. It was for the health and welfare, where residents weren't next to factories and pig farms and things like that. So now it's like, let's put them all back together. Let's take away their mobility. Let's have them constrained by fixed lines and short distances and high density. And then they call it smart growth. So everybody thinks, oh, well, you can't be against smart growth. So they say, I want smart growth. They don't even know what they're asking for. But then when the town starts implementing it and they see the high density apartments being built, like 1,400 units on 50 acres, and they go, oh my gosh, plus stores, plus restaurants, plus, they say, we don't want that here. Because they're all living where they want to live, in their single-family neighborhoods with their front yards and backyards, and they safe places for their children, and they like that. Mm-hmm. And so we have over and over again communities up in arms about this top-down concept that just doesn't work on the local level. It's not local control. It does not reflect the community, and the community needs to take it back. They need to take it back.
Well, I'm BJ Lawson, and we're taking the pulse with Cathy Heath, who is a local, actually statewide, property rights advocate with Stop NC Annexation. And maybe we can take a few minutes and go inside and talk some more about what makes North Carolina such a unique place with respect to annexation in particular.
Yes. Yeah. Which is, it looks like the office of somebody who doesn't have time to straighten up their desk.
Good. Yeah, perfect. Awesome.
That's the only exercise I get. Besides running the halls of the General Assembly lately. State protection against eminent domain. It's whatever the Supreme Court decided is okay in North Carolina, unless we change our Constitution and say that it's not okay.
Right. That is a very, very dangerous precedent.
Right, and we have people in the legislature who are interested in getting this accomplished, but they need the support of people across North Carolina saying, we want this constitutional amendment, and we want a good constitutional amendment.
Absolutely. So how did you go from becoming a neighborhood activist to realizing that there was a statewide need here?
Well, when I saw all the different cities across North Carolina that were inciting the organization of neighborhood groups, community grassroots groups, to fight it, I said, we need to get all these people connected. And so I put the website out there. And in these days, when somebody's faced with an issue that they're not familiar with, they often go to the internet and they type those words in. And yeah. I was able to get this website to where if anyone types into Google search annexation, the website will come up on the first page. So hopefully they'll look at it, they'll find useful information, they'll contact me. I can let the people in Buncombe County know that the people in Wilmington exist, and the people in Wayne County exist, and the people in Moore County exist. And they all start talking to each other. And that is how it...
So, Cathy, having been through this whole process of getting to know how the system works, so to speak, with respect to municipal annexation, talk a little bit about what you learned with respect to North Carolina and why North Carolina is such a unique state.
Well, North Carolina is one of like 4 or 6 states that have unilateral municipal annexation, where this property owner that's being approached by the city has absolutely no say whatsoever about whether they're annexed or not. And this did not seem like a very good, the principle that was grounded in very good American government principles. when I saw that, I said, that's got to change.
So literally, a municipal government can come to the landowners and say, we are going to annex you, we're going to put you on water and sewer and provide fire and police protection, and you're going to have to pay this, and that's
Yes.
That's it. End of discussion.
Right. They can just map out property owners and go to those and notify those property owners, you are now going to become city residents. You can come and tell us how you feel about it. You can come and find out what we have to offer, but you are going to go off your private services.
So I'll take you off your well.
They are working on legislation that will allow the cities to force you off your wells and septic systems right now. That hasn't been enacted, but the cities are required by law, once they do a forced annexation, to bring in sewer mains and outfalls. Not every line to your house, but they have to bring in that main.
Mm-hmm.
So once they come in and they've torn up your neighborhood to do that, and that utility is there, and you're paying city taxes, you're going to naturally, that's like naturally pushing the whole area over into, whether you do it voluntarily or whether it happens fast or slow, that's where it pushes it. So like, I get my garbage, I've hired a family. It's a minority owned garbage pickup company, local. I think they're out of Holly Springs. Very nice people. I love being able to hire them. They do a great job picking up my garbage and my recycling. And if the town annexes this neighborhood, then I have to fire that small business and tell them, you know, I can't accept your services anymore, because now the government's going to come and pick up my garbage, and I'm going to be forced to pay the fee to the government to come pick up my garbage instead of a private business.
And is North Carolina, are citizens aware of this? Clearly, this neighborhood has.
We had our wake-up call.
You've had your wake-up call. Do other people in the state generally know how the rules work in North Carolina, or is it an educational process?
It's usually an educational process. There aren't too many people in the state of North Carolina who are are aware that that's what the state law allows the cities to do. And we have an influx of people from other states that they don't do that, and this really takes them by surprise. And one of the things, thank goodness for the internet, I'm looking at, as I was doing research, I'm finding past cases where people were forcibly annexed, and they got angry and they organized and they tried to fight it. And it would pop up like in Wilmington, and they would fight, and they fought all the way to the 4th District Court, and the court pointed them back to the General Assembly, said, you need to go to Raleigh and get the law changed. And then I see another one pop up in the mountains, and then another one down by Charlotte, and then another one up by the Virginia border. And they would flare up. They'd have to very quickly learn what they were fighting, and then they would lose, and then they would go away, and they think they were alone. So I thought, one way, we have to get everybody connected and help them understand that we all have to join together and focus on Raleigh to change this law. So I started the Stop NC, I got involved with the Stop NC annexation website. I've been the webmaster for that, and for the last, since 2003.
Sure.
And it's evolved.
Well, it seems like the fiscal pressures on the local governments are just tremendous, and we've gone through a period of economic expansion. We've had governments that have been increasing their bond issues and doing all these amazing things to provide additional services. It's not really a surprise why people are looking to grow their tax base.
Right.
But in the current environment, I must admit, I'm really concerned about what's going on, both in terms of what state governments as well as what local governments are getting into, because at some point, as we're seeing across the nation, the debt's coming due. Yes. And I don't know, I'm curious to get your thought on, from the people that you've been speaking with, where are the municipalities in understanding